Alrighty guys, welcome back to another video. I'm on the wrong screen. This is the screen I want to be on, or even this one. We're going to continue the series that we've been doing kind of sporadically, which is covering all the different NIDHOGGR, all the demonic beast guides. So we've done obviously Skull and Hardy, we've done the run through, we've done Deer, we've done Bird. Now we're up to NIDHOGGR. So we're going to do the team building guide today. I have a feeling it's going to be a little bit shorter than the other ones, but I still wanted to do its own separate video just so I give you guys all the kind of details and stuff. And then we'll jump in and do the actual full guide as well. Now, again, if you haven't seen my other ones, my qualifications are, I've done them all. I guess I've got all the relics and stuff. I'm still working on the two latest ones for Ratatosk, but I'm, as you can see, basically there for a couple, so I do know how to do them. And I'm here to hopefully give you guys a hand and help you clear them for the first time or for farming them or, you know, whatever it is. So hopefully you guys find this helpful, and without further ado, let's get stuck into it. So the very first unit we're going to start with is Freya. Now, this is kind of an interesting one because unlike the other units, the other demonic beasts who basically have a passive straight off the bat regarding the boss. So for example, in this one, in every turn, Red Freya doesn't actually have that. The only time she starts to get something related to NIDHOGGR is once you get her Holy Relic. So this is very Holy Relic dependent. You need to have her Holy Relic in order to put her in the NIDHOGGR team. Now, I'm hoping all of you do have her Holy Relic because it's honestly going to make this run a heck of a lot easier. And if you're trying it for the first time and you don't have like 15+ mil box CC without her Holy Relic, you're not going to be able to make it all the way through. Just in short, you're just not going to be able to do it, right? So what I would recommend doing is there's a few different teams and guides and stuff in terms of just clearing floor 1. And obviously you can try and hobble your way through floor 2 if you want to. Basically, you want to start working all the way. If you're up to this boss and you've cleared the others, you want to start working your way towards getting this Holy Relic, right? So that's going into World Tree Tower. That's buying the pieces that are required for it. Like, so if we do... Right, so that's making sure you have these, you have the dark red crystals, and you've obviously got the cubes and stuff as well. So for her, you basically just need, as always, 15 of these Roots of Corruption, the main source, 30 of the dark red crystals, the blue source, and then of the yellow ones, I think you need 80 of those, and then 80 of those, something like that. Yeah, 80 and 80, yeah, so that's what you're looking at, right? So that's kind of one of the annoying caveats to this one. I can touch on some other units, I suppose, to run in their place, which I'll do as we go through this. But we're gonna, for the sake of this, we're gonna start with this unit, right? Now, for me, you're gonna want to put Tamil. Well, for me, it's Tamil Link goes on her, but for me, for you guys, you put Tamil Link on whatever unit has the lowest HP when you enter the battle, because that is the unit that NIDHOGGR is going to target, right? It doesn't matter whether there, or there. It is the lowest HP unit that basically, you know, you have. So for me, it's Freya, and I'll explain why as we go through it, but that's my starting point. So that's Freya. She has HP, she has Tamil Link, and I actually run her with attack crit damage. I just find it's fine. It works. I don't need to do anything else. I get the more damage out of her this way as well. She still survives. So if you can't keep her alive, and you maybe don't have the box CC to justify that, or you want to, give her a bit more survivability, attack defense works as well. Attack defense with probably, yeah, I'd say defense rolls. I'd say attack defense if you really need to go HP defense, but I like having her on attack crit. So that's the first one. Now, the basic, because she is an unknown unit, there's kind of two different ways, and as you guys can tell, I haven't quite fully rehearsed this one. So, because she is an unknown unit, in order to basically run her with a goddess team, which is the most effective team to run, you need to have her Holy Relic. Right? If you don't, then she doesn't get the additional race of goddess, and she becomes kind of useless in terms of the card set you want to use as well, right? So again, if you don't have her Holy Relic, I'd probably recommend running a separate team, which I'll explain once we finish with this one. So next, pretty straightforward, you're going to build her around goddess team if you've got it, right? So the best choice in the 2 support slots is going to be Summer Margaret and Princess Elizabeth. Ella Elizabeth, right? Those two are going to be the best ones. They're going to be your best support units. I run both of these guys as a pairing to these, because my Freya still does damage because she's on attack crit. So she's one of my damage dealers in this fight. So those two are my support units. If you guys don't know, Ella Liz, obviously, hopefully you should know, is just an absolute broken support. for this game now. In PvE, she increases basic stats up to 30% whenever she heals an ally. She increases recovery rate by 20% up to 100%. She fills her own ult gauge, and her Holy Relic gives her 15% HP related stats to everyone. And if you don't have this Liz, the other Liz you want to run is this Liz, the green Liz. Hopefully you guys all have LR Liz by now, unless you've just started the game or you're new to the game, then you might not be attempting this, I'm not sure. But the next best thing is probably this green Liz here is what I'd recommend. So on level 2, she can cleanse debuffs. She has remove buffs, which is nice, which is obviously what you have LR Liz for as well. And then her ult's the same. A little bit less effective, but very similar. Then obviously in Summer Margaret, you have the ability that basically in the NIDHOGGR Beast Battle, you increase Goddess basic stats, right? So it's 40% increase. You also increase the damage dealt for every time you use a buff skill with her. And if you remove a debuff with her Cleanse Guard, you heal for 20% of max HP, right? So you remove debuffs, and then obviously at higher levels, you reduce the damage you're taking as well, even at level 1. So these two in combo basically means you almost can't die. It's a very, very powerful combo. Like I said, if you can't use her, use Green Liz, and if you can't use this Summer Margaret, I would just recommend using Margaret if you've got her, or sorry, the other Margaret, right? The Cleanse card is good there, and you also will get the basic stats up to 40%. Yeah, if you use a buff skill. So between these two, you'll get that nice and quickly as well. But I prefer Summer Margaret for this one as well. Now, Lucky Last, it's pretty obvious, but you need a damage dealer for this, right? Damage dealer is going to be Mael. Mael is just going to be the one alongside Freya for me that dishes out the damage. So pretty straightforward. I have his Holy Relic, but you don't obviously need that. I've been doing NIDHOGGR without it. We've only just got his Holy Relic recently. In terms of links, doesn't really matter. You could use this link if you want. You could use King Link if you've got it. Increases your CC, increases your HP, and it is nice. But yes, it's not really necessary most of the time. I think I just usually use an LR unit. With this, I would probably recommend just picking your highest CC unit to go along with it, right? And then for this one, you obviously can't link LR Liz, and you can't actually, I don't believe, link this one either. No, because she's on the team. So again, just your highest LR unit. So usually what I run is, actually it depends on what gives me the most damage as well. So probably something along the lines of, maybe something like this will do the job. But that's kind of like the team I'd run. In terms of gear setups, so obviously you have attack crit here. I have attack crit on Mael. I have HP defense on Liz. And then for Margaret, of course, we'll run HP defense as well. This is just kind of the team that I run. And it's very, very effective. It works very, very well. For the gear links, for the background units, HP defense, HP defense, HP defense, and attack crit or HP defense. HP defense on your Freya. Now, obviously, as you guys can see, 235, 278, 275, and then 230. So my Freya goes in with the lowest HP. If that's not the case, and it's on, say, one of the two units that don't have graces, that already have graces, so you can't put Tamil Link on them, then what I would recommend is giving the particular unit that you want. So say for me it's Freya, maybe some just low defense rolls, or on Tamil you change his gear out to be recovery rolls or something like that. So you can play around with that as you see fit, just to make sure she has the lowest HP, or one of these two have the lowest HP, whether it's this unit. You probably won't get this girl to the lowest HP, but you'll be able to probably do it on Green Liz, whether she is here, right? So that's the Goddess team that I run. It's by far the most effective. It's also the easiest way to do it. And obviously it does require you to have Red Margaret. It does require you to have LR Liz. Like I said, we do have a couple of replacements here for this, but the main thing is it requires you to have the Holy Relic already. We'll touch on very shortly what to do if you don't have the Holy Relic. The main thing as well is the reason why you run full Goddess team with the Holy Relic is this card set. This is the Dogs card set. This is the most effective one to run. It increases your attack related stats by 15% when you're in a demonic beast battle. Now, if you don't have that card set, content filter, this one. If you don't have that one, then I would highly recommend just doing the increased basic stats by 10%. This will be a good one for you to use. It's the deer one, but otherwise this is the best one. And then, if you don't have that one, then you might not be quite ready to take on this boss. To be entirely transparent, you should probably look at farming any of these units first to kind of get the card sets. And if you still want to try it and you don't have this, that's fine. The last one that you can probably utilize is there's actually Goddess ones as well. So if we do this, let me have a quick look. So you could probably do this one, which is the increased basic stats by 3% for each goddess. So you got a 9% increase in basic stats. Or the final one that you can do is this one. Allies debuffed, you recover 5% of max HP. This is by far the bottom of the barrel scraping a pick. I'm just giving you guys options. I wouldn't recommend this one. Recommend all the other ones in the order that I kind of suggested. All right, cool. Let's say you don't have Freya. What I'd actually recommend doing is you bring out Tarmiel instead. And Tarmiel becomes your one that takes damage. So again, you want to keep him at the lowest HP, right? So he's the one. So basically, his grace goes off, so you can tank damage with Tarmiel. Because Tarmiel, every time he does take damage and restore health with his own grace, he will give you a 30% basic stat increase up to 6 times, right? Or 5 times, sorry. So this is a really strong choice instead. Again, you can switch out these as you need be with Mael, but honestly, the Freya switch around is going to be your best bet here. Link-wise, again, it kind of varies. You can put whatever you want. Your strongest link is fine. If he's still stronger than your other units, which at this point I very much doubt he will be, but you can again give him like maybe in this corner, you can give him like a recovery thing, right? Recovery rate rune or something along those lines, just to kind of bring his overall HP down. Cool. So now if you completely transition away from... So disclaimer, I'd recommend running Goddesses, right? Goddesses is the most consistent, it's the easiest team to use. But the other one that you can use is the Unknowns. I've seen it done. Honestly, I have not personally ever got past, I think, floor 2 with it, just because I don't really find it effective. I don't like it. You're a bit too squishy. You don't have the level of tankiness of this Goddess, and you don't have the... I mean, you can use her, but you don't have the same necessary level of protection and goated kind of support units as you do with these two. So if you're going to run the unknown units, the one you want to run is basically Tyr. You still want to have Freya. You want to run Freyr, right? Ideally, you want to have his Holy Relic, because it increases basic stats and single target damage, and you also have the stance cancel on level 2, right? So this will work, obviously, if Freya has her Holy Relic or not, because it's all unknowns. Obviously, with Holy Relic, you get the stance cancel on a single target. I just realized I haven't really explained what Holy Relic does, so maybe I better quickly do that just so you guys understand, hopefully understand what I'm talking about. So basically, her single target, which is this Flood card, will turn into a stance cancel, which you need throughout the boss, and increases all allies' basic stats. There you go. Every time you use damage, up to 20%. It also gives a goddess, and then basically, there you go. And if all allies on the battlefield are goddesses, each goddess ally increases the hero's attack-related stats by 10%. So goddesses really are the easiest way to do this. I don't really like recommending Ragnarok or Unknowns at all, but we're going to show you guys, just in case, for whatever reason, you haven't built goddesses, you don't have Mael, you can't run any of this. It just really means you're probably not quite ready for this boss, to be entirely honest. Feel a bit mean saying that, but you just might not be there yet, which is okay. Now, you can leave Liz if you want to. She's a great support unit no matter what, right? Otherwise, what I would recommend switching to, you need a buff removal, right? So she acts as a buff removal, and if you don't have one, then you kind of want to run Skadi, because Skadi has a buff removal, and you need that for floor 2. Floor 2, yeah, start of floor 2, right? And then in the final slot, I don't love it. Oh, sorry, I've missed Freya. Where is he? There. So this is kind of the team you want to run. It's very clunky, and you need to kind of rely on doing damage, which is where I kind of really fall off. You can't really substitute. The only one you can maybe substitute for is Freya, and you could slot in this Magelda, so that when you cleanse, you do get a 20% increase, like you do heal 20%. But again, I don't like this. It's not clean. It doesn't give you all the options you need. But this is obviously the thing you can use, and then you want to switch this to the 10% card set that we were speaking about before, right? So 10% increase in basic stats and Demonic Beast. In terms of gear, I have all these on attack crit. I probably would run HP crit on Tyr, because he's going to get focused for the first turn, right? So he's going to take a lot of damage. Attack crit on Freya is okay. And then I've got attack defense on Skadi, just because you'll also be able to heal with her ult as well, right? So depending on the level of your ult that you have with Skadi, depending on how tanky you are, whether you have his Holy Relic or not, like there's just a few more things that could go wrong with this team. So as you can see, my Freya is actually higher in terms of HP now. So what I'll be needing to do is I'll need to switch over to this, which actually pushes it above my Freya, right? So this is where you kind of have to have a bit of a play around and see what makes the most sense and what causes the most increase in HP to the point where you're like, okay, who needs Tamil Link? So that's gonna be 217, 239, 220, and then by the time I do this, it'll be 228, right? So Freya's gonna be the one that's gonna be targeted, so Tamil Link goes on him. So that's the other choice in terms of teams. Again, I'm not a fan of this. I don't recommend this. I recommend just straight up going, all right, my goddesses, what are my goddesses? Let's go. Let's go her. Let's go Mael. And let's go LL Liz. All right. And then Tamil Link goes on her. And then it'll be, yeah, whatever works here. So maybe Escanor there, and then here you can do this again. So this is what I recommend. But again, it's up to you guys, right? In terms of what you can get away with, or like what you've got for your setup. But this is the team I would run. So hopefully that makes sense. We will jump into obviously the full guide next video on NIDHOGGR, where I'll run through each step one by one. I will be using this team just because this is the most effective and hopefully the one that showcases the most around. Like it also gives me the most survivability, so I can show you guys all the different mechanics as we go. So this will be the team I'll be running. This is the team I always run: attack, crit, HP defense, attack, crit, HP defense. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed that. Hope that was helpful. If I've missed anything in terms of teams you guys like to run or anything along those lines, or something you guys want questions answered, please throw a comment down in below and give us a like if you enjoyed it. And as always, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.